Hey mamas, I'm Brooke Miller, registered dietitian, certified lactation counselor, and a mama who has helped hundreds of moms feel like themselves again after baby, boost their energy, mood, metabolism, and even milk supply. Inside of the Postpartum Shift podcast, you'll learn how to take care of your health so that you can show up best for the ones you care about most. Each week, we'll tackle topics like nutrition, exercise, breastfeeding, mental health, and so much more. Plus, you'll get access to guest experts who will share ways to make your pregnancy and postpartum experience easier. Whether you're approaching the postpartum period or you're right in the thick of it, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's topic. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Today is a super special episode because Rachael and I are doing a dual episode that is going to be released on each of our podcasts because we are covering things like how to save time and money when it comes to meal planning and prepping and grocery shopping and all the things. So if you are a busy mom, this episode is going to be so beneficial for you. So Rachael, do you want to go first and just kind of introduce yourself and just share with our listeners who are not familiar with you, where you are, what you do, how you got here?
Yes, absolutely. So I am Rachael Coons, known as Hey Rachael Coons on social media. I am a busy mom of four. We live in Northern California with my husband and I help families save money on groceries. My journey started back in 2020 when I looked at our budgets and realized grocery spending was one of our highest expenses every month. And it was the one budget that I thought I could really do something about. And so with that experience, I decided to start saving money on groceries. I also have a background in health and wellness. So nutrition and health was really important as well. I started sharing that with my followers. And fast forward 4 years later, I am now helping thousands of families save about an average of $600 a month on groceries. So our paths are like perfectly aligned. Brooke, you're going to share what you do, but I think this is going to be a really good episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys aren't familiar with me, I am a postpartum dietitian and lactation counselor. So I help moms reach their postpartum health goals without having to go on a really restrictive diet, sacrifice their favorite foods, or lose their milk supply if they're breastfeeding. And I think just a really common belief that you and I both believe in is that healthy eating doesn't have to be expensive. And I think that's something that, especially in my first, 10 years as a dietitian, that's something I heard over and over was, I want to eat healthy. I want to make changes, but I don't have the budget. And so I think this is such a common myth that we want to bust and really dive into and share how you can actually make changes with your overall health and nutrition without breaking the bank. Do you want to dive into that too?
Yes, it's absolutely one of the biggest pushbacks I get from people is like, I can't save money on groceries because I have dietary needs or health goals or whatever that is. And I think a lot of the times people are using that belief to excuse them for their grocery spending, right? They're using that as a justification for like, I don't have to change or I don't want to change because because I have this priority that's more important. And I'll be the first to say, like, I love those priorities, right? I love the fact that you want to eat healthy and we can kind of mold those two together and say you can eat healthy and you can save a ton of money just by focusing on your grocery spending.
Yeah. Well, and I think something that a lot of us don't realize, or maybe some people are realizing this, but fast food and Grubhub and meal delivery, like it has gotten so out of hand expensive. And so when we actually plan ahead and when we are buying more things at the grocery store, we're actually going to save so much money by, not going in line at the fast food restaurant,
Totally.
or, ordering takeout last minute. And so just that is one way. And that's something that I'm sure like we've both had so many students say that over the past few months is, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much money I have saved just by going out to eat less and packing a lunch and bringing a lunch to work and planning ahead because going out to eat is so nightmarish expensive right now.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I was in McDonald's line the other day getting myself a Diet Coke. And
Oh, it's the best Diet Coke ever.
I mean, I'm all about balance, right? We eat
Yes.
healthy, we drink our Diet Coke.
We love Diet Coke.
And a hamburger was $10.
Oh my gosh.
$10. And I was like, That is robbery for a
That
like
is crazy.
a fast food that's always been a very value-based fast food.
Hmm.
Like $10 for a hamburger. I can make a bomb hamburger at home with the nicest quality meat, like half that amount, if
Oh
not more,
my
you
gosh.
know?
Yeah, absolutely. And this was something that, I actually worked with. My first job out of college was I worked with low income families for years, um, who couldn't afford a lot of groceries. And that was something I heard over and over is like, I know their income thresholds because they were approved for this program. And it was very low. Like they were in poverty, the families I was working with. And a big thing that they would say was like, I cannot afford to eat healthy. And so we would break it down and say, like, okay, here, like, let's look at some of the stuff that you are buying and let's price it out. And then let's look at some of the like things like frozen vegetables that
Right.
are $1. You can get like a big bag of frozen vegetables for $1 versus a bag of Doritos right now
Six
is like
bucks.
$6 for a small bag. And so we would kind of talk about like where are some things that we can start shifting so that we're saving you money
Yeah.
and preventing food waste. And I think that's something where I'm sure you see this so much, but I think a lot of families they're buying in excess the things that is going the things that are going bad, and then they're throwing things away. And what you and I both believe in is like, how can we prevent as much food waste as possible and prevent throwing away produce and things that are going to go bad? And just if we can reduce food waste, that is one way that we can drastically improve
Huge.
our grocery bill. And so I don't know about you, but like we are a huge fan of frozen vegetables. Like we always have a wide variety of frozen vegetables in our pantry. That way we can just microwave them or throw them on the stovetop and warm them up and heat them. And that way we're not having to worry about them going bad. So I don't know if that's something you guys do
Well,
too.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of the pushback people get is like, I want the high nutrition. I want the
Hmm.
high, all the vitamins and minerals that come
Hmm.
from fresh food. And it's completely debunked that frozen vegetables are
Yes,
less nutritious. So if you are somebody who has
exactly.
thought that in the past, it's not true. It actually frozen vegetables tend to have higher traces of those vitamins and minerals
Hmm.
because they're frozen at peak freshness.
Yep.
So you're getting that. But I would say on the flip side to that as well, not only purchasing frozen produce, but using your freezer for food that is going bad in your fridge.
Yes,
So if you have
absolutely.
produce items like I have strawberries in my fridge that like we just bought too much, my kids haven't eaten them. I threw them in a Ziploc bag this morning and threw them in the freezer, and I'm going to use them later for a jam or a dessert or something. So I try to never have produce go bad in my fridge. I always just throw it in the freezer and utilize that as well.
Oh my gosh, I do that with spinach. Like anything that's green, spinach, kale, like anything I could throw into a smoothie. Usually I'll buy it fresh and eat like one salad from it or two salads from it. And then the moment I'm like, okay, I've had this open for 2 days, I immediately throw it in the freezer and then I use it for smoothies.
Yeah. Oh, and I was going to say as well, like, taking this a step further with healthy food and saving money, even if you're someone who like needs convenience, right? Like I need convenience, I need to buy like pre-made dinners or whatever. You can buy pre-made dinners that cost $20, and you can also buy pre-made dinners that require 5 minutes of prep for $5. It's
Yes.
just how you combine those ingredients. Like I'm thinking like grabbing a rotisserie chicken or grabbing some chicken breast and a bag salad that's like $3 at Sam's Club, and you just
Hmm.
combine that's a meal,
Yep.
and you can spend $20 instead of grabbing like the perfectly pre-made taco platter at Costco.
Yep.
That's what, $18 for the platter. So there's
Yeah.
ways to get the convenience, to get the health without spending the crazy amount of money.
Can we talk about Costco for a second?
Yeah, that's a hot topic for sure.
Please. Okay. So I am so specific. There are only a few items I buy at Costco.
Yes,
Like
yes.
it is funny because I will bring my kids. Oh my God, they love Costco. They like love that they get to sit in the
The
cart
trip.
together. They love being in Costco so much. Of course, they love the free samples, but it is funny because we leave and my grocery bill at Costco is so much lower than almost everybody else. I look around and I see their carts are just packed and packed and
Yeah.
packed. And I have priced out. I actually love the Costco diapers. Like they are my
Okay.
favorite.
Yes.
However, Target is cheaper. And so we buy all of our diapers and wipes at Target
Uh-huh.
because if you look at the price per diaper, like I'm just such a nutty person, right? But
Yes.
there's certain things, like you said, at Costco that are actually so overpriced, but they have the rotisserie chicken for like
Yep.
$4.
Yep.
So we will buy a rotisserie chicken there. The peanut butter is
Yes.
cheaper at
Yes.
Costco. So we buy peanut butter. I buy the olive oil and avocado oil at Costco.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like the regular berries, like the raspberries, because my kids destroy those. So those are like our go-to things at Costco, but there are so many things I won't buy there because it's actually way cheaper to buy them somewhere else.
Totally, totally. And I think like one thing that I'm big on and people who follow me will know this is I'm all just about intentional spending, right? So
Hmm.
are you doing it with are you just doing it to do it? Are you just throwing
Hmm.
things in your cart to do it? Or are you intentionally thinking about, can I get this cheaper somewhere else? Is this actually pushing me towards my goals? Because we all have priorities,
Hmm.
whatever it is. You have to decide what your priorities are. And if saving money is one of those priorities, then you better be price checking your
Yes.
diapers with your local Target and Walmart and all those places. You better be price checking and knowing and being a smart shopper. And a lot of
Hmm.
times we just as consumers just let grocery stores pick the price and we just kind of bend to whatever the price is, but you don't have to. Like you can
Hmm.
be a smart shopper and that's what I'm all about.
Absolutely, especially with meat. So my husband is a big smoker. Like, not like, I mean, I live in
Like,
Colorado, so
I do.
people people are probably like, oh, he smokes
Lighten
a
up
lot of weed.
outside right now.
No. No, so my husband loves, like, we have a Traeger. He is
Oh,
obsessed.
that's
It is
awesome.
literally his hobby. He
Yes.
loves it. And so he is so funny about price checking meats. Like he will look online and say, okay, King Supers has meat for this much per pound. And then he'll go, Costco has it for this much per, like he
Yes.
will price shop. And he even this weekend was like, okay, this weekend we're going to go to Costco because I'm making this meat on the smoker and it's cheaper here. Like he is
That's
so funny.
awesome.
He's so into the meat aspect. And
Yes.
so I fully like give him control over where we buy our meat because I
Yes.
know that he is price checking. But I mean, it can be annoying too. Like we typically only shop at Target and we go to Costco like twice a month, but
Yeah.
we don't try to go to Costco that often. We do a majority of ours at Target because Safeway and King Supers is
Oh, it's so
so
expensive.
expensive,
So expensive.
and we don't have an Aldi here. Like I don't live
Yeah.
near an Aldi, which is like a super big bummer. But where have you kind of found in terms of shopping? I mean, we do have a Sprouts, which I think produce
Sprouts is
wise, and
good.
we have a Trader
Yeah.
Joe's, so that can be helpful.
Yeah.
There's also a Whole Foods, and I love going in there, but I will not. I call it whole
Crazy.
paycheck, so
Yeah.
I will not go in there.
Yeah. I stay away from Whole Foods for sure. It's
Yeah,
just ridiculous expensive. Yeah.
I know. But what are your favorite stores that you like to
So
go into?
I really love, well, I will go to any store that allows me to order online and pick up, right?
Same.
That's my big
Yes.
beef with
Yep.
saving money and obviously 4 kids, like I'm not going in the grocery store.
Yep.
So I love Sam's Club because they
Oh
let
yeah.
me order online, I pick up. So I actually only grocery shop twice a month.
Yeah, that's
So
amazing.
I do a big haul from Sam's Club and Walmart. Walmart delivers to my door.
Yes.
So that's another huge plus. So I do a Walmart delivery, Sam's Club delivery twice a month, and then that's all I do. That's pretty much. Sometimes I'll hit up Trader Joe's for like their specialty items because there's some things
Mhm.
at Trader Joe's that I love to
Oh,
have.
same.
But it's not like a frequent trip by any means.
Yeah. I've done, and I wish Walmart was closer, although it's not that much further, but I was doing Walmart pickup for a while too, because I was finding that Target was out of a lot of things and then they
Yeah.
wouldn't substitute. Like they've really fixed that, but I was doing Walmart for a while and I have celiac, so I'm gluten free. And Walmart actually has some of the best cheap gluten free options.
Yeah.
So if you have celiac disease, like Walmart is the place to go. And I also find that their grocery pickup is super convenient too. But I'm the same way. I did a grocery pickup this morning. I don't do it twice a month. That is something I want to get to. We try to go like 1 to 2 times a week, but I will say, like, I've noticed that not going into the stores has also saved us money, like grocery
Totally.
pickups, because then
Totally.
we're not randomly, oh, we should buy that, or the kids see something that they want to grab. So
Right.
that's definitely
Right.
a great tip for
Yeah.
people.
It is. It's huge.
Oh my gosh. And I think just planning ahead, I know a lot of us as moms, we feel like we don't have the time or energy to plan ahead, but when we just take even 5 minutes a week to kind of plan what we're making for the week, it is going to save us so much money because what ends up happening is for so many moms is they're hungry. Oh, I don't have anything planned for dinner. Let's just go get order takeout. Let's go through the drive-through line. How often do you and your husband meal plan? And is it just twice a month that you technically meal plan?
Yeah.
And how long does it take you guys?
So I actually do this live with my students every month. So I know
That's amazing.
exactly how long it takes.
Uh,
It takes me like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
mhm,
Obviously, I have a system set up and we have all the resources for the students. So I kind of just pull from all those resources. So it
mhm,
goes really quick. But a lot of the time and effort that meal planning takes is done on the front end of like,
mhm,
I know what I'm inventorying my pantry, I'm using up my perishables and doing all
mhm.
those things so that when I do sit down to meal plan, it's very simple and very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so many of us don't shop our pantry. We don't shop our freezer. We don't shop our fridge. We like don't do a good job of looking at what we already have first
Right.
before planning meals. And that's something that can save so much time.
Yeah.
And one of our good friends, Alyssa, she shared this hack with us and ended up on freaking Good Morning America.
Yes, I love this. Yes.
But this hack is amazing. So this was like back when Alyssa and I were business partners together, and she shared this hack on our social media, and literally Good Morning America reached out. So this is a freaking good hack. But
Yeah.
it's a clear bin that you put in your fridge, and then you put anything that is about to go bad in that bin. It's like a need to use bin. And so basically it's front and center. When you open the fridge, you see it, you see that it's about to go bad. And then you can do what Rachel and I were just talked about, where you can either put it in your freezer, especially if it's like produce
Yeah.
and you see it's going bad, just throw it in your freezer. But if not, and you want to use it, then you can say, oh, okay, this, I don't know, this avocado is like about to go bad. What can I make that has avocado in the recipe? And what can I do? And that alone can also save so much money.
Totally. Totally. It's like where I send my kids. Like, I want a snack. Okay, go
Mm-hmm.
look in the produce or go look in the use bin and like see what
Mm-hmm.
we can make from those foods. So yeah, I love that tip.
If you've been wanting to reach your healthiest weight and feel like yourself again postpartum without having to sacrifice your favorite foods or your milk supply, I've got a free workshop just for you. Inside of this free workshop, you'll discover how to boost energy, mood, metabolism, and even protect your milk supply. You'll learn common mistakes that moms make that actually cause exhaustion, mood swings, low milk supply, and weight loss resistance to become worse, things that moms don't even realize. And you'll learn the proven 3-step method to heal your hormones and metabolism after baby so you can go from surviving to thriving postpartum. Plus, as a free gift, you'll get my postpartum snack guide when you come hang out with us. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes to save your seat today. Spots are limited. See you there. Yeah, absolutely. And I think something else I get this question a lot as a dietitian is, do I need to buy everything organic? Does everything need to be like the highest quality to be healthy? And so something I always tell people is like there's certain things that really you don't need to buy organic, especially things like bananas or avocados, like things that have like a hard shell that you're not eating. And then beyond that, it's totally your discretion with how much you're comfortable spending. You know, if you want to buy all organic, just know that your grocery bill is going to be more expensive. And for some of you listening, you're totally fine with that.
Yeah.
For some of us, who are really paying attention to our grocery budget, we may buy a lot less, organic products. And, you can look at the Dirty Dozen to kind of see which products you may just pick and choose that there's only a few fruits or vegetables that you want to buy organic. Is this something that you talk about with your students a lot too?
Yeah, and I have a lot of students who choose to eat organic, and
Mhm.
I'm never telling anybody what to eat.
Yeah.
Like I never am creating a grocery list and specific things. Like that's not what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I do find that my students who come in with organic needs or even dietary restrictions, gluten-free, dairy-free, those kinds of things, those are the students that actually end up saving the most amount of money. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because they've said, we kind of talked about this at the beginning, but like they've said, I have to eat organic. So what I'm spending is just what I have to spend. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a second, there's a lot of things that we can do beyond like what you actually buy,
Mm-hmm.
like with your routine, with your system, how you're meal planning, those kinds of things that can save you a ton of money. And so
Mm-hmm.
who cares whether you want to eat organic or not? It doesn't really matter. You can still save money on groceries.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think, there's also this balance of, something I tell my students is like, you can choose to save time or money or both, right? And so you can pick and choose. Some people might be listening to this and they may say, like, I can spend $1,500 a month on groceries and like it's not going
Yeah.
to hurt our family, right? And so if you're listening to that and you're like, I really have this unlimited big grocery budget. I don't care how much I spend, but I want to save time in the kitchen, then for you, it might be a better option to buy some of the pre-made salad kits. It might be a better option for you to buy some of the pre-chopped, fruits and vegetables and things that are going to save you time in the kitchen. And so you get to make that decision of what season of life are you in? Are you in the season where you're more willing to spend money or save money? Are you in this season of life where you are more willing to save time? And even for a lot of my postpartum moms, especially that first month postpartum, a lot of moms are like, you know what? I'm willing to spend more money in this first month postpartum for convenience.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to do things like HelloFresh or Blue Apron for a few months or DoorDash or like that kind of stuff, or buying like a lot of pre-made things at Costco, and it might be for the first 2 months after you have a baby. Maybe that's something that you're willing to spend more money on, and that's okay too. And like it can change. And something you can also do if you're pregnant and listening is start freezer prepping meals in your third trimester. That
Yeah,
way you're like ready to go. But, you get to make that decision of what season is your family in right now. Are
totally.
you in this season of you'd rather save money, time, or both? And you can also find ways to do both.
Totally. And that just goes back to that intentionality, right? Like
Hmm.
there's no shame in anything that you choose to do as long as it's a conscious decision and you've
Yep.
made that decision and you feel confident in that decision, then what you're doing is right. And
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with spending $3,000 a month on groceries if you have planned to do that and that's what you want. There
Hmm.
is a problem though if you are just blindly spending, and it's like, hurting other areas of your life because of that. So
Hmm.
or, if your goal is to eat healthy and you just don't even care, then that's great because you
Hmm.
consciously decided that.
Yeah, there's this guy I follow. I love him. He teaches like money advice and like how to save money and especially young families. And something he always says is like, what's your rich life? So for some people that he interviews, their rich life is like going to Whole Foods and they are foodies
Yeah.
and they want to spend a lot of money on that
Yeah.
stuff and they have the income to do that. But then a lot of other people, it's like, that's not my rich life. My rich life is like for my husband and I, our rich life includes like we love country music. We love going to country concerts. We are big sports people. Like we just found out the Packers are coming here to Denver for preseason and we're like, I don't care. Like we're going, like there's certain things that my husband and I are like, we will spend money on this. This is our rich life.
Yes.
But then when it comes to things like groceries, I'm like, spending, $5 on a bag of salad versus three, that's not a rich life. Like that's not fulfilling my life. And so
No.
I'm willing to cut back on groceries and spending so that, I can put my money towards the things that my husband and I care about most, which for us is like country music and,
I love that.
things that we can do together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
how,
actually just like posted a reel about this where it's like, this
yes,
is where I choose to spend and this is where I choose to save. Like I'm gonna save
yes,
on like used furniture and groceries
yeah.
and different whatever activities that we do. And then I'm gonna spend on travel and family
Mm-hmm.
experiences. And like I think that's so empowering because
Mm-hmm.
everybody like your rich life is different than my rich life. I love the idea of like what is your rich life? That is super cool. I'm gonna have to use that in something because I love that.
I know. And it's like, everyone's different. You know, you can look around at your friends and your family and how they choose to spend their money. And the big thing that he teaches is like the intentionality piece. It's like,
Yes.
hey, if you want to spend, $3,000 on a personal trainer and that's going to fill up your cup, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, go do
Do it.
that. Go
Yeah.
invest that money if that's going to fill up your cup. But don't just blindly spend money on things that are not enriching or enhancing your life. And I think for most of us, I would say, grocery shopping is not enhancing our life.
That's
Like
exactly how I
most of
feel.
us. Most
Yes.
of us.
Yes.
There are definitely some, like, I have a few friends out there who freaking, they go to Whole Foods, they love it. It makes them happy. I'm like, good for you. That is
Yeah.
not me. That is not
Totally.
me. That's not how I want to spend my money.
Totally.
But for them, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And,
Great.
they
Yeah.
love it. So that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just finding what your rich life is. So maybe everybody can journal out while listening to this podcast and think about, like, if you could spend money on groceries, where would you put that money? Would it
Yes.
be for different, trips or travel or experiences or going out to eat or date nights? Like, where do you want to put your money once you can
Yeah.
start
I
saving it?
always I always ask my students that at the very beginning because I'm like, okay, we're gonna save you all this money. What's
Hmm.
gonna happen? Where's it gonna go? What are you gonna do with it? Because
Hmm.
our power doesn't come from just from having extra money. It's putting it where we want it to be. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, it ends up going towards paying off debt. That's like
Yeah.
the big thing that people want to do. Because then you opening up so much financial availability as well when you are getting out of debt.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I am going to have my student loans paid off this year, and I am like
Oh,
over the
yes.
freaking moon.
That's a big burden off your shoulders.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. 10 years. 10
Yeah.
years of student loans. And I cannot tell you how amazing it will be to be
So
debt
nice.
free. I mean,
So
we
amazing.
have a mortgage and a car, I guess,
Right.
now.
Yeah, but that's
But
not,
like,
yeah.
it's gonna
Not
be,
like credit card debt where you're paying
yes.
30% interest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's like 6% for student loans. And I'm like, ugh,
I know.
my
I know.
mortgage is 3. So
Oh,
it's hard.
you have a good
Oh,
interest
I'm
rate. Oh, yeah.
I'm
Don't ever
I'm
sell.
locked in. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. If we weren't like so outgrowing this house at some point, but I think we're hitting like a 2-year stretch. I think we can like make this house
Oh,
work for the next 2 years, but it is so hard to give up our mortgage now.
I know. I'm sure. It feels real nice. It's
It's
a good,
real
a
cushy.
good
I
interest
was
rate.
like, our mortgage is so much cheaper than like a 2 bedroom to rent here in
Oh,
Denver.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, it is going to hurt. It's going to be a dagger whenever we end up moving. So my husband's like, let's just make this work for like the next 5 years. We
You're
can
like,
do it.
yeah, you can make this work, but I'm going to be living somewhere else.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
gosh. Do you have any last minute tips or like big picture ideas of things that people can kind of focus on in general when it comes to saving money on groceries? I know you have like your shop method. I don't know if you have any tips from your free workshop that you share that you want to drop in here.
Yeah, I would say like the shop method obviously is like the way that I go about saving people so much money, but starting with those basic things we talked about now. Food waste is huge, right?
Hmm.
Like if we can eliminate or decrease food waste, you're going to save a ton of money. Shopping online, huge. Meal planning, huge. Like those are some
Hmm.
really good places. I hate like there's a lot of things that we can do to get people to save money. So I don't want to like overwhelm
Right.
our listeners, but start there. If you're not doing
Yeah.
anything, and honestly, even just like bringing this to consciousness, even listening to
Yes.
this episode, you're going to start to notice how much you're spending and it's going to help you start to want to save money. I think
Hmm.
just tracking your spending can
Yes.
do a lot as well.
That is something that we started doing recently where I was like, okay, I want to really determine where our money is going every month. Like, I don't know, I've been going down this rabbit hole of like, I want to make sure I'm investing the right amount and, doing
Yes,
everything
yes.
right.
Yeah.
And that is something that I looked into last month and I was like, I wonder how much I'm actually spending at the grocery store. And it was higher than I thought it was. And
Yeah,
I think for most of us, it is higher than we think it is. And
it
so I
is.
think that first step of just tracking, like over the last 30 days, what have you spent at the grocery store? And then kind of making it a challenge for yourself of, can I bring it down? Maybe it's just $100 the next
Yeah.
month. And then
Yeah.
maybe it's $200, like I think a lot of us get stuck in this black and white mindset of we have to jump right away. And some people actually thrive. Like they thrive just like, I'm going to cut my grocery bill in half month one.
Right.
And then other people, it's, a slower transition where it takes them a few months to hit that point. But what do you find is easier for your students? Do you find that some of them are better at like gradually cutting it down, or do you find that most of them are better at like, let's just go all out?
That's a good question. I think most people, when they join, they're like ready to go, right? And when
Yeah,
they
they're
in the shop setting, they're
motivated.
like balls to the walls, like
Yeah,
we're gonna figure this out. I mean, yeah, we see students within the first month like 500, 600 down
that's
just
crazy.
from implementing the things that we do. So, I mean, but then there's other people where it's like a slow trickle. They want to take their time. But I think it's something that, and that's why I'm actually so passionate about it, is because it is so easy, right? Like
Yeah.
this isn't, I'm not like making you go run 5 miles every day. I'm like actually going to help you save time. It's going to be
Yeah.
easier doing this. So it's kind of like a no-brainer in that respect.
hmm Yeah, it's so true. I know. It is. It is so true. We're not going to be your personal trainers telling you guys, like yelling at you guys, telling you to do more push-ups. We're just going to be cheering you on
Well,
when
and you
you are
probably
grocery
feel that
shopping.
same way with like healthy
Yeah.
eating. It's like making these decisions, making these healthy choices actually is going to make your life better and more full, and you're going to
hmm
feel better and you're going to look better and all of those things. So it's like, yeah, a little bit of discipline goes a long way in that
hmm
respect.
Yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of my students find that some of them are, yeah, kind of the same way. Some of them come in and they're like, I am ready to like overhaul every aspect of my health. And a lot of times I have to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. Like, okay, instead of focusing on meal planning, saving money, exercising, reducing your stress all this week, like
Fix it
let's
all.
pick one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's pick one. Maybe your focus this week is saving money on groceries and planning ahead. And that's our focus for the next 2 weeks. Once we feel like we're getting that under control, then maybe let's look at walking or exercise or, something else that we can implement. So I think that this is one of the top things that as moms, we should be focusing on with our health. And then, yeah, once you kind of get in the groove and understand how to do it, then you can move on and start including other healthy habits in your life. But it just opens up so much when you're saving money and eating foods that make your body feel good. I think that's like a big win I got. This one client just like stands out to me, and she was going out to eat so much at lunchtime, and it was just like out of convenience. And she started meal planning and prepping and planning ahead. And she was like, I can't tell you how much better I physically feel eating foods that I prepared at home, like simple, basic meals and bringing my lunch. And she's like, I have saved hundreds of dollars this month on grocery or like on food by not going out to eat. And just hearing wins like that, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Like, I want every mom to be able to experience that, especially when they're paying for multiple kids. Like
Right.
daycare is
Right.
expensive.
Right.
We're
Totally.
already paying like so much money for our children. So
Yeah.
how can
Yeah.
we
Absolutely.
reduce our family spending? So
Absolutely. I love it.
awesome. Well, do you want to share where people can find you and work with you? And then, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I obviously I'm on social media. I do have a free workshop that you can watch. It's 45 minutes. That'll be in the show notes. And I have a monthly membership called the Shop Society where we, obviously give you all those meal plans, the recipes, resources, and the shop method. Um, so yeah, that's probably the easiest place. Brooke, do you want to share where people can find you as well?
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at Nutrition for Mamas. Or if you're listening to Rachel's podcast, you can find me at the Postpartum Shift podcast. And then I also have a program for moms called the Postpartum Shift. And that is, it includes tons of recipes and meal plans. And really, it's a place for you to learn how to nourish your body well. So if you are pregnant and approaching the postpartum period, or if you're in the first few years postpartum and you want to make healthy changes, that are really doable for postpartum moms, this is the place to get it and get the support and accountability that you need. So, yeah, that's
And
where you can
Brooke's
find me.
not Brooke, for my audience, they should know that you are like what? You're 30 weeks pregnant and you're 34?
30. Well, no, I'm 29 right now.
Oh,
By the
okay.
time by the time this comes out though, I will be I will be like 36.
Yeah, you'll be like ready
When
to
this
go.
episode airs, I will be about
With
36,
your
37.
third baby. So you're
Number
speaking
3.
from experience when you
Yes.
talk from this. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm like, yeah, okay, wait, this is like off the cuff, but what advice do you have for me to go from 2 to 3 kids? Because this
Oh
will
my
help somebody
gosh.
else. You have 4. You're like,
Well, my jump from 2 to 3 was a shit show. It's really
yeah,
like
I'm terrified.
it was real rough. But that was because Brad was in dental school. I had an
Oh,
18-month-old and I had a 2-year-old. So
oh,
it was like it was a surprise pregnancy. Anyways, it was like the time of my life that made it super hard. It wasn't
yeah.
necessarily the 3 kids, but that transition, Brooke, I shouldn't even tell you this. That transition was so hard for me. Because you're outnumbered. I would
Yeah,
say the more, I mean, you're gonna get ready, but the more you can do beforehand to like, and then just give yourself, obviously you're gonna take maternity leave, but just like give
right.
yourself. Honestly, it felt like a year. Like you just have to
Mm-hmm.
give yourself to like sit in the crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to like enjoy it as much as you can, sleep as much as you can.
Yeah.
How old is Sawyer's 5? No, Sawyer's your 1 year
Yeah,
old.
Sawyer he turns 2 like right before the baby's born. So
Okay.
he'll be 2, and then Ashton is 5.
Okay.
So the nice thing is, Ashton's in 30 hours a week of therapy. And so
Yes.
he is like one-on-one and he gets all the support he needs. And then Sawyer's starting part-time preschool
Okay, perfect.
when the baby is born. Like literally, I'm delivering, and then 2 weeks later, I'm like, bye, you're starting
Yes.
part-time preschool at a church. So I'm really excited because both the older boys will have some structure throughout the day. So I do think that that's going to help our transition quite a bit just for
Yeah.
me to have some alone time. I don't know about
Totally.
you, but I find the first year like the easiest,
Yeah.
like the baby
Okay.
phase. Like
Okay.
I'm obsessed with babies. I don't know.
Yes.
I might be a freak, but like for us, like 2 and 3
It's
is
rough.
terrible. Like toddlers, I struggle so much. Like when they throw themselves on the floor and you can't reason with them, I'm like, I cannot
Yeah.
handle this. Whereas a baby crying, like it doesn't trigger
Makes
me.
more
Like
sense.
I can just like stay so calm with an infant crying. I don't know. But
Yes.
the moment
That's
a toddler cries, I'm like, oh, I
get your
can't
stuff together,
get it
stop. Yeah,
together.
totally, totally. Like
So
they finally get logic around like 4 years old, and then you're like, okay, okay, we can make this work.
right, right. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm like, I love the baby phase. I'm so excited to go through the baby phase. But yeah, especially once I get close to 2, I'm like, oh, I need a break.
Yeah, totally, totally. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so fun. I'm excited.
It's gonna
Those
be great.
those
We'll
baby
survive.
snuggles are so special.
I
They are
know. They are the
really.
best. I can't wait. Awesome. Well,
Okay, well,
thanks
this is
so much.
so fun. Yes, this is so fun.
Yay. Okay. Well, we will see you guys on both of our podcasts. Come say hi to both of us on Instagram. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Thanks, Brooke.
Bye. Exercise is crucial for our overall mental and physical health, especially during pregnancy and postpartum. Something that has helped me stay really consistent with strength training and yoga at home during nap time is the Expecting and Empowered workout app. I love that I can choose how many weeks pregnant or postpartum I am, and the app tells me exactly what to do. Plus, there's cardio, yoga, and strength training options for new moms and moms to be. You can go ahead and click the link in the show notes to get 7 days free and also save 15% off the annual option when you use promo code Nutrition for Mamas. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to the Postpartum Shift podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you could share this episode with a mom friend and leave a written review. This helps the podcast reach and help even more moms. Come say hi over on Instagram at Nutrition for Mamas.